The new Arknights set is releasing. Let's talk about all of the decks, starting with this red one. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Mobby here, and today I have my personal deck profile for this Arknights Red deck that revolves around Chien. Make sure to like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel. I upload daily duels and deck profiles for different anime TCGs. Alright guys, here we go. These are the action points that I'm currently using. Today we're going to be talking about every single card, the playstyle, and overall if I think this deck is pretty good or not. I will be covering every single Arknights color, and this is the first one of the series, and let's just go. And let me know down in the comments what you would change or what you would remove for this particular deck. So this revolves around Hoshiguma and Chien, and these characters are both of our raid sources. Basically, Hoshiguma is really good at defending, while Chien is the double damage, really crazy attacker. So this deck is a good balance of attacking and some defense. So let's talk about it, starting with the Hoshiguma here. So this one has the characteristics of Lungmen, which is pretty important. There is a card that searches for these cards. So this one has double block. There is some cards later that say if there is a double block on the field, different effects happen. So this is a pretty decent character. However, because it has the double block, it doesn't have the usual trigger for getting this into your hand, and that's pretty important for the raid source. So you're trading out some consistency of grabbing the card for a little bit of extra damage and a new ability. But that is the first card of the deck, Hoshiguma, running 4. Now running Chien, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So once again, another Lungmen. This is your basic raid source card, a weak 1500. However, the get is add to your hand, so it bounces out from here. Interesting enough, this character is like the crazy attacker, but then at the very beginning, this one has just more attack because, you know, this is just a get card. So once again, this is your raid source of the card of the deck. Next, we have our 1 cost. We have a couple of meteorites, and the reason why, it's because this is a red deck. It's meant to be pretty aggressive, at least at the start. So this is a really good trigger, which is the active plus 3000 BP. However, if you're able to throw this on your front line, you might be able to get some really good attacks and swing over a lot of 1500s and 2000s that your opponent might throw on the field, depending on what color they are. So this is just here as a tech choice. We're running 2 of these because the other 4 are a little bit weaker. Actually, no, this is the same, but this is Chien. This is once again another raid source. So main once per turn, you can place 2 Lungmen cards from your hand to the outside area, which is the sideline. This is just how they translate it from the Japanese to English on the X-Burst websites. If you did, this character gains 500 BP, making it 3000 and plus 2 damage this turn. Usually don't want to do this unless you know for sure you really want to get that 2 damage in. They're not going to block it. Maybe it's going for game and you're going to be forcing a character to block your 3000 character and 2 damage. So it's a really good card to, once again, it fills the same role as the meteorite. You have 8 so in this deck we're running only 8 0 cost. I'm giving it a try between 8 and 10 and sometimes even 12, but then the more I play, if I can see a lot of inconsistencies with not enough 0 costs, we'll add a little bit more. And if anything, I would remove these 2 meteorites for maybe 2 more 0 costs, but then I would really want some more 1 cost stuff, which is why we're running these 4 Chiens in here. These guys are just really good. These gals are really good for this early attacking. Next, we have our Amiya. This is a 2 cost here. When this character is active, generate 1+ energy. So obviously this is going to stay in the sideline for the whole game. This is your +2. In this game, the most energy you want to have passively is probably 6, maybe 5. And we'll talk about the reason why. Even though there is a character that costs 6, having about 4 or 5 is okay. So 2 of these in the back line is good enough, and it's a 2 cost, so you'll be able to get these, and there you go. Next off, we have the other 2 energy generators. These are the only 2 generators in the whole game because it's a red deck. Once again, aggressive. You don't need that much energy, but with this particular one, you need just a slightly more. So this is Wei Yen Wu. from another Lungmin card. So on play, look at the top 4, reveal a Lungmin card, which is once again some Chiens or Goshimas or Hoshigasumas. Hey, where are they at? Hoshigumas. So you add it to your hand, then you trash one if you've done so. Really great card, a good active, good ability, and good basically this. So these two in the back line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next off, we have another Hoshiguma. This is your 4 colors of the deck. This one has double block, and it kind of goes with that one, more double blocking, right? So if this character is retired, meaning it's sidelined, either on your turn or the opponent's turn, but however, if it's retired due to the BP becoming 0 or your opponent's effect, now it's really interesting that it calls out this one becoming 0. This is the first card that I've seen that does that. When they remove it from retire due to an opponent's effect, meaning, you know, they use a KO card or an opponent KOs it. However, if it goes to 0, it is different from an opponent's effect. Pretty much if it goes to 0, any card dies, but then technically they're KO'd by the game mechanic rather than the opponent's mechanic, which is a little weird semantics, but that's why it specifically says that as well. So it covers that, which is cool. Choose up to one of your opponent's characters, 3,000, and retire it. Really great. They have to play around it, or if you can already put this card on the field while they have a 3,000, it will be hard to play around it. So double block, and it's pretty good. Color, choose a 2,500 and retire it. Also really good. So this is a really amazing solid card. You're going to want these on your front lines for your mid game for sure. Next off, we have the Lungmin Dollars. This is your 4 finals of the deck. It's your basic choose 2 AP cards and set them as active. Every single card has been the same. I saw a rainbow one before, you know, with the Kaiju 8. I wanted to put them in the deck because it's like rainbow, it goes in every deck. However, it costs 1 more, so never mind. But yeah, that's what it is. And the final is, of course, if this is your last card, when you take a hit, your final life, you heal 1. Next, we're going to move on to our first raid card of the deck. We have Hoshigumas. So basically, there are 8 Hoshigumas previously, the 0 cost and the 3 cost. Both of them are double block, and this one is the same. You don't have to have this being a raid card for the double block, so you can play it vanilla if you want, but it's just a 4,000 double block. However, if you do raid on a Hoshiguma, it has impact negates. Then in the main frontline, once per turn, choose a character on your field. It gets 1,000 power, so you technically could choose this character as well if the chosen character has damage +2, which we haven't seen one. Well, we have seen one. It's going to be this Chien. So this one combos with this Chien, but it works better with the other ones, but you can work with this one too. So if you buff up a damage 2 character, you know, by removing 2 for that one, this character gains 1,000. So you would be buffing somebody else for 1,000 and this for 1,000 for until the start of the next turn. And that's really important, until the start of the next turn. So if this becomes 5,000, then you'll be able to block really well, a lot of 4,000 stuff. So this is one of your key high defense pieces of the deck. It's very strong, very strong. Actually, it might be worth using it for that because it is until your next turn. So a really good card. So the trigger is add this card or raid. So definitely always keep 4 on your energy line at all times with the Hoshiguma, because if you're able to get this and your opponent can't get rid of it, amazing stuff. 2, 3, 4. Next off, we have a Action 2 Chien. This is a 4 cost. So it's a Lungman. This one in particular is not a raid card. It's a damage 2. So this one is innate damage 2, which works with this. Then when this thing is retired, aka sidelined, add up to 1 Chi Xiao Unsheath or character with double block. So you can grab every single one of your Hoshigumas, your 4 cost, your 3 cost, your 0 cost, from your block to your outside. And the Unsheath is going to be a card we're going to be seeing pretty much right here. And we'll talk about that later. But however, the trigger is add this to your hand. So it's a decent card. It's not too bad. It adds anything that you can have on the field that gives another +2 damage. It's just another good target for that. So this is why this is in here. And I don't like running more than, 4 Action 2 cards. So this kind of fits the requirement for that. Next off, it's another Chien. There's a lot of Chiens in this deck. There is a lot. So this is another Lungmin. And then when this character is on the field, you can pay 1 MP once per turn. This character gains 2 damage. So it's almost like this. It's a little bit of back and forth. So this one doesn't have the 2 damage to work right away. You have to pay a little bit extra for the Hoshiguma. However, when attacking, if there is a double blocker, draw one, trash one. Your double blockers, once again, are your 0-cost Hoshigumas, your 3-cost Hoshigumas, and your raid cost Hoshigumas. So you have around 12 different cards where you can have on the field for this to activate. And the active is, the trigger is active, give 3,000 to a character. So it's a solid card. Okay, now we're going to talk about the Chi Unsheath. This is your 4 specials of the deck. 4 cost, choose a character, 3,000 KO. If there's a Qian on the field, which there's quite a lot, it's 5,000 less, pretty basic. The special is KO a frontline character. So nothing special there, except this one can, oh my god, I just knocked down the whole deck. Except it can come back. This is like one of those crazy things where you can actually revive the card when this thing gets destroyed. So this combos really well. Like technically you could use these theoretically 8 times in a duel. That's pretty awesome. Okay, now for the last card of the deck, this is your 6-cost Qian. This is your raid card. So there's 8 raid cards in the deck, the 4-cost Hoshigumas and the 4 6-cost Qians. For each character with double block in your area, reduce the energy of this except from on the field by 1. So if you somehow play it from your, if you get to play from your hand while you have 2 Hoshigumas, this is a 4-cost. If you have 3 Hoshigumas, this is a 3-cost. Amazing. Like one of the best things you can do is randomly have 4 Hoshigumas on the field, a Qian, and then this raids for 2. Well, technically it would be, you know, you'd have enough, but you know what I mean. You could really lower the cost by this. It says in all places other than your area. So if once this is on the field, it just becomes a 6 cost for all different card purposes. If it's in the graveyard, it is reduced. But however, in this deck, there is no sort of effects that it has in the sideline. But maybe your opponent has something or whatever. But yeah, this is cool. So it only raids on Qian. It has innate damage 2. Then main in the front line once per turn. Choose one character. It can be Qian as well. It gets 1,000. However, if the chosen character has double block, which is the other 12 cards of the Hoshigumas, you draw 1 card. So once again, Qian and Hoshiguma, your best sort of frontliners are these 2 together to really work. Oh man, look at that. Woo, this is so good, man. They buff each other up. This gains 1,000 double block. But yeah, your opponent could always use some sidelining stuff to destroy them. There is a card. There's a 1-cost card that I decided not to put in the deck, and that is a defensive card. I just want to talk about it really quick. It's a defensive card. It's a 1-cost, and you can keep it rested as long as you want. And while it's rested, the opponent cannot choose any other characters besides that rested character. I think it's a Lin or Len. And they cannot be chosen by character effects. How I would have 100% put it in the deck if it protected against, you know, specials like this. But no, it's character effects, which is why it's not in the deck, because it's a little bit more less valuable. These are insane, right? Like if your Qian or Hoshiguma's on the field, this is high priority to get rid of it with a special in the deck. Alright guys, so that's it for the first Arknights deck that we're going to be covering. We will be going over every single color, and then if we have time and people are interested in the Arknights videos, we are going to go back over to another red, because usually every single color has multiple archetypes. This is just the Qian one, Qian Hoshiguma, which I think it's cool. I think it's a really, really awesome deck that you have double block and you just combine specifically these 2 characters. It's just good synergy. So yeah, thanks for watching. This is the deck. And yeah, one thing that might be a little bit weak here is the lack of 0 cost with only 8 here. But hey, I'm going to run it for a while, and if it gets too crazy, I'm going to have to put in some more zeros. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.